Shalom, everyone. Welcome to the Broder Center here. Those of you joining us in person, those of you joining us on our stream, we're so glad that you've come out on this cold night to warm your spirit with our community and with some prayers and a little bit of learning we'll be doing today as well. I think we all know where the bathrooms are, just outside the hall and to the left. Likewise, there's a first aid kit that's located behind the reception desk here in case anyone needs it. Please take a second to make sure that your cell phones are on silent or vibrate. And we will continue as we welcome the Sabbath, so excited we are to be able to have this moment at the end of our weeks to be together to celebrate our sacred day. We turn to page 5 in our prayer books.
Shabbat
here to hear all these voices, and we're taught that there's a special kind of spirit, a special kind of light, a special kind of joy that joins us on Shabbat, and we use this moment to try to elevate our spirits and try to elevate all that is sacred and all that we are blessed with in our lives. We are very blessed, most of all, for our friends and for our community. And I want to welcome one very special member of our community, our friend Jean DeBoe, who will help us with kindling our Shabbat candles, bringing that light of Shabbat into our life. We turn to page 3 in our, page 3 in our prayer books, as we rise for the blessing over the Shabbat nights.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher tishanu mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahad v'ner Shabbat.
Amen. Wish you strength and blessings and peaceful Shabbat, Jean. You may be seated once again as we continue with the Chatzi Kaddish, our bridging prayer, page 6 in our book.
Yitro v'yitkadosh shemei Rabbi Be'almam divrach yirtem yamlich malchutem B'chol yechol v'yom lechol U'chayei b'chol Beit Yisrael La 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 U'yis malhan kari Ve'yimeru
So we say this blessing for the one who brings on the evening and for the one who causes new day to follow with night, with the bottom of page 7 together. Praised are you, Adonai, ruler of the universe, who has ordained the rhythm of life. The day with its light calls to activity and exertion, but when the day wanes, when the setting of the sun colors fade, We cease from our labors and welcome the tranquility of the night. To subdue the light of the moon and stars, the darkness and stillness about us invite rest and repose. Trustfully, we yield to the quiet of sleep, for we know that while we are aware of what goes on within and around us, our powers of body and mind are renewed. Therefore, at this evening hour, we seek composure of spirit. We give thanks for the day and its tasks, and for the night and its rest. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on the evening.
ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה, אדוני צבאות שלו. אל חי וקיים, תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני, המעריב והרביב.
Continue with a prayer for God's eternal love for us, Ahavat Olam, our teaching.
Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha Torah u'mitzvot, chukim u'mishpatim, otanu limadeta. Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha Torah u'mitzvot, chukim u'mishpatim, otanu limadeta.
Watchword of our faith, the Shema, at the top of page 9.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Hashem,
You may be seated.
אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך ושיננת בדמך ודיברת בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובכלך וקשרתם מאוד על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בעיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובמשמרתך למען תזכרו ועשיתם שם קדושים אלוהיכם, אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם אלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם,
For our Gidula prayer for redemption, we offer the words of Michael Walzer, the scholar of just war theory, speaking about a redemption that is and was and will be. Page 11 in the middle. So pharaonic oppression, deliverance, Sinai, and Canaan are still with us. Powerful memories shaping our perceptions of the political world. The door of hope is still open. Things are not what they might be, even when what they might be isn't totally different from what they are. We still believe, or many of us do, that the Exodus first taught, or what it has commonly been taken to teach, about the meaning and possibility of politics and about its proper form. First, that wherever you live, it is probably Egypt. Second, that there is a better place, a world more attractive, a promised land. And third, that the way to that land is through the wilderness. There is no way to get from here to there except by joining together and marching. Saturday night to ask for God to grant us protection, to grant us a covering of this shelter of peace, the Shabbat Shalom. That's actually only half of the prayer, because the prayer also asks for God to stand us up, to help us to hold ourselves upright, to be straight, to be proud, to be B'nai Yesharim, people that uphold a set of values and a covenant that draws them close to their God. And so we continue with Hashkidim, page 12 in our Cause us to lie down in peace, and raise us up, O Sovereign, to a life renewed. Spread over us the shelter of your good counsel. For your name's sake, be our help. Shield us from hatred and plague. Keep us from war and famine and anguish. Subdue our inclination to evil, O God, our guardian and helper, our gracious and merciful ruler. Give us refuge in the shadow of your wings. O guard our coming and our going, that now and always we have life and peace. Blessed is Adonai, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people, and over Jerusalem.
Baruch atah Adonai, Haborei Suchat Shalom Aleinu, ve'al kol amot Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim.
Page 13. Shabbat classic. We're about ready to start the Amidah, the core prayer of our evening service. We'll be praying together as we usually do, pages 14 and 15, and then we offer the chance that everyone can complete this section of prayers they feel fit. It goes through page 20 in this Shabbat Menucha version of our prayer book. We rise, first though, as we recite Adonai Satatai, asking for God to help open our lips that we can pray sincerely this evening.
Adonai Satatai, Ufia Itehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avoteinu Imotzeinu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Yisrael, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Raham, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Tobez Hasadim Tovim, Ve'Gonei Hakol, Ve'Zocher Chasei Avotim Hakol, U'Medigonah B'Neihem, Ve'Man Shmo Ve'Ahava, Ve'Chozer Moshe U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham Ve'Ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Adonai, Mechayeach U'Atara Ve'Hoshia. Mechaper Chaim B'Chesed, Mechayeach Hakol B'Rachamim Rabim, Zohomet Lofli Perofer Koholim, U'Machir Asurim, U'Mekayeh Emunato B'Shem Be'Ava, Mifalot Chaba V'Hurot, U'Midot Be'Elav, Melech B'Mit U'Mechayeh, U'Matziach Yeshua, Be'Amancha L'Chayot Hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh Hakol, Atah Kadosh V'Shimcha Kadosh, U'Kadoshim V'Chol Yom Yehavelu V'Selah, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh Hakol. Shalom v'yomar, u'ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom v'yomar, u'ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom
We use this moment as an opportunity to offer a prayer for healing. And I'm going to share a list of names from our congregation that individuals are thinking of for healing before giving a chance that anyone not mentioned, if you'd like to share their name, you'd be welcome to do so at that time. As we hear these names, we take this chance to try to imagine and see, to feel the presence of all of those people being thought of for healing in our community, in the hope that we, together with this one great prayer we create, can bring that healing so much needed to our world. This Shabbat, we have included in our list for healing Judy Block, Arlene Braun, Lana Breiner, Heidi Pescar, Sue Chazen, Donna Zuba, Kimberly Del Dego, David Froman, Celine Garr, Donald Hammer, Mara Hassan, Eric Robert Kuhn, Charles Mueller, Kim Murphy, Joanne Robb, Robert S. Reisman, Charlie Ross, Brandon Ryan, Shirley Gigi Spire, Joe Tufts, Tammy Van Wayne, Mark Diablo, Kaya Forbach-Giriam, Lavi Benitez Kimchi, Malka Batmanachaya, Pinchas Ben Malka, Rosh Hashanah Bat Miriam, Rosalina Shirley Gabrielle, Sarah Esther Bat Malka, and Zenaida Bat Diana. If there are others being thought of again, now is your time to ask. Remember Ruben?
Michelle Bernstein. Dear Erwin Joshua.
Rabbi, we must keep praying for Israel still, the hostages, the IDF, the American forces, and USA.
Thank you. 94 hostages for the IDF, for the American forces.
Lillian Schatz, Bobby Bednick, Rick Sikala, Elaine Swords, Zeno, Carol Smith. Michael Saul, Charles Saul, and Debbie Saul.
Michael Merrill from Crucible.
For all those mentioned, and the many more that go unmentioned, we pray for full and complete healing, your foolish Lema, as we find these words for you on page 21.
Abraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov. Misheberach Eloteinu, Sarah Kalea Berachem. May the one who blessed our mothers, may the one who blessed our fathers, hear our prayer,
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 hear our prayer.
hear our prayer, and bless us as well. Bless us with the power of your healing. Bless us with the power of your hope. May the pain and loneliness we're feeling be diminished by the power of your love. We shall bear our Eloteinu, Abraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov. We shall bear our Eloteinu, Sarah, Kalea Berachem. May the one who blessed our mothers, may the one who blessed our fathers, hear our prayer,
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 hear our prayer.
hear our prayer, and bless us as well.
This week in our Torah portion, we hear the continuation of the story of Revelation at Sinai to Moses, and the beginning of the story of Passover. Usually with the beginning of the plague, we find the first plagues and read these words, dam, sarpdea, kini, blood, frogs, lice. It's like right out of the Haggadah. Has anyone ever seen one of these documentaries on TV? I remember seeing one years ago, one with these archaeologists who get on television and they talk about, I guess, YouTube now or whatever social media people watch, right? And they try to explain the plagues and how they might have actually scientifically happened, right? I mean, like, perhaps there was something that spilled in the water, contaminating it, and it turned red. And when it turned red, then all these frogs that were in there, they jumped out of the water to try to flee, right? They went up into the land, and then they brought with them diseases, right? Diseases from these frogs, maybe parasites, lice, and so there's this progression. And I remember seeing one of these things as a kid, and I stopped watching it halfway through. I found the whole idea a bit bizarre. I didn't, and I still don't think that the point of the story in this week's Torah portion, the story of the Exodus, is whether it happened or not. Rather, I think the point of it is what does it teach us about how we live our lives today? What values are conveyed in the story of our people's Exodus out of Egypt? One of the elements of this moment is that our ancestors were in a hopeless predicament. They were suffering. They were oppressed in slavery, yet God was able to hear their cry and rescue them from their plight. Through miracles, God freed our ancestors from Egypt. And 2 weeks from now, we'll be reading about this moment, God's perspective on it, as we'll hear God declare, "You have seen what I did to the Egyptians, how I bore you on eagle's wings and brought you to me. And now if you will obey me faithfully and keep my covenant, you shall be my treasured possession among all the peoples. Indeed, all the earth is mine, but you shall be to me a kingdom of priests, a holy nation, an Am Kadosh." At the Passover Seder, we pour out wine as we recite the 10 plagues to remember the pain that our enemies experienced through these plagues. Returning from Israel just last week, I still feel a bit numb, I have to share, from the destruction that I saw in the community surrounding the Gaza Strip and from the stories that I heard with my colleagues there, stories of survivors of both the brutality they experienced and the heroism that they exhibited. I thought that I knew what had happened on October 7th, but it's really quite different being there with Israelis and being able to feel the mood and the atmosphere, being able to give those people a hug and tell them that we're thinking about them, tell them that we are there with them. I also feel grateful that we had the opportunity, as I was there, to visit the north. We were actually the first delegation of rabbis to go to the north following the ceasefire with Hezbollah. And we were able to see how communities such as Kibbutz Menara have been damaged by the war. In Kibbutz Menara, we saw that some 75%, 3/4 of the structures in the kibbutz have been damaged by Hezbollah, mostly through the firing of incendiary anti-tank missiles. We also had the chance to have an audience with the families affected at Migdal Shams, a community in the Golan, a Druze community where 12 children were killed by an errant rocket. Of course, these rockets being fired do not have such great guidance systems, and so this one happened to land in the middle of the soccer field. 12 children between the ages of 8 and 13 were killed. And there we had the chance to speak to 3 of the fathers. We had the chance the next day to go and have an audience with the grandson of Sheikh Amin Tarif, who led the Druze community in making a quote-unquote pact of blood with Israel during the Israeli War of Independence. There are some 150,000 Druze people in Israel. Druze is a minor religion that's an offshoot of Shia Islam, and they believe that one is obligated to defend the country in which they are born. And they have been among the most loyal and the fiercest members of Israel's armed forces. It's really an important reminder that Israel has and protects citizens who are ethnic and religious minorities, Druze, Bedouin, Arab, as well as Christian and others. I have to share that while I was in Israel, I did not witness any evidence of immoral action by the Israelis. In fact, quite the opposite. We had the chance to meet with reserve soldiers of the Israeli Defense Forces while we were there. We asked them about the allegations of misbehavior by soldiers, and they said they really couldn't even understand these allegations because they couldn't be further from the truth. They told us that the IDF would investigate a soldier for taking something trivial from a home in Gaza, like a set of prayer beads or something of that sort, and that at the same time, most of the houses in northern Gaza were abandoned and booby trapped. We saw stockpiles, true stockpiles, of these weapons that Israel had captured from Hamas and from Hezbollah. And most of all, we learned about how central the discussion of the hostages is in Israeli discourse. Pictures of the hostages were literally everywhere, and I found myself taking out my cell phone every time I encountered a memorial or a poster and recording it, a mural on a wall just around the corner from the hotel saying, "Don't forget them, they're dying." And I heard from multiple individuals who told us that sacrificing the hostages, forgetting about their plight, some of these hostages not even Jewish, that would mean something terrible about sacrificing a part of Israel's very identity. It's just simply unthinkable to them that the hostages could be given up. So while in Israel, I saw in Israel I was proud of. I understood how Israel still abides by our values and how they managed considerable military achievements in the toppling of Hezbollah's chains of leadership from power in Lebanon and the decimation of Hamas's capacity to fire rockets into Israel, in the defanging of Iran's air defense systems, as well as their continuing ability to intercept rockets and drones. We did have to take shelter once at 3 o'clock in the morning with the sound of an air raid siren during my time there. We also had the opportunity to speak with a number of Israeli thinkers. We heard from journalists like Mati Friedman and Yossi Klein Halevi of how the gap in perception versus reality is created because of the contortions of the international media for the sake of offering a moral analysis of the Arab-Israeli conflict. We heard lawyers like Kochav Elikim Levy, the founder of the Devorah Institute of Gender and Sustainability Studies, who has been documenting evidence of war crimes against women and children and men on October 7th, and who sent reports to the United Nations, to the World Health Organization, to the International Committee of the Red Cross, and to other members of the international community, but received no response, not even an acknowledgement of the pain of the violence perpetrated against Israelis and those living within Israel. We spoke to Knesset members like Einat Wilf and Gilad Karib, and we heard from analysts like Lieutenant Colonel Sarit Zahavi, as well as a military analyst and journalist, Rabbi Brent Gutmann, who taught us about the Muslim Brotherhood, which governments of many Arab states, including Hamas, still follow their teachings. Rashida Rida concluded that the Muslim world had fallen behind because they needed to regain God's grace in showing strength, and that the Jewish aspiration to create a state in Palestine was unacceptable. Rita taught that the Jews were the weakest of peoples, and the Arabs could use the Jews like a stepping stone, that crushing the Jews would return Muslims to their old glory, as in the first millennium Islamic caliphates. And Rabbi Brent Gutmann pointed out that after so many attempts by the Arab world to destroy Israel, that they ought to start asking different questions that lead them to recognize that Israel is winning not so much because God is on Israel's side, but because Israeli society is following the right set of values and creating the right kind of culture. Because we have the right kind of story, a story where we don't focus on whether the plagues happened or on finding evidence of them, but that God's intervention freed us to observe a set of rules and commandments that taught justice, that taught compassion, that taught love and morality, and therein have enabled us as a people to thrive. In truth, albeit a rabbi, I'm not sure whether God exists. It can't be proven. But I do know that I believe in God, and that our God promised our people the land of Israel. At the same time, human decency is our nature, and that means treating others as we wish to be treated. We were slaves in Egypt, and we know what it feels like to be vulnerable. In truth, Palestinians could have had a state if they wanted it. They could have had it 70 years ago when the state of Israel was founded. Even though we believe the land is ours, we're willing to share it. They don't want to share it. What they really want is for neither a Jewish state nor the Jews themselves to exist. If the Israeli-Palestinian conflict was about land, it would have been over long, long ago. But it's not. It's about anti-Semitism. Call it a miracle, but God seems to have vindicated Israel with miracles. Even if God's miracles have come in the form of plagues upon those who cursed the Jewish people, Israel is doing something right. Israel doesn't torture or desecrate the bodies of its enemies. Israel does not attack civilians deliberately, nor build military installations in civilian areas. The Jewish people put human decency ahead of our own Torah. We teach derech eretz. Human decency, kadma, the Torah comes before the Torah itself. Perhaps this is why God enabled Israel to so successfully counter Iran. Perhaps this is why Israel is one of the most advanced societies on the planet. Perhaps that is why Israel's residents, Jews and Arabs, on the whole, live longer and have better lives than Palestinians. That Israelis care about their society. Is it perfect? Of course not. But Netanyahu is being forced to sit in court while acting as prime minister. It's a standard that's not similar to what we've seen in the United States. Perhaps because of Israel's righteousness, that's why today Israel is seeing hostages released once again. And let us hope that the Palestinians are finally learning the lesson that those who bless the Jewish people are blessed, and those who curse the Jewish people are cursed. And to those for whom Israel was not the biggest news story of the week, but President Trump's aggressive early actions as he assumes his office, honestly, these actions haven't been shocking to me. At the same time, I want to be clear that many statements he has made and many actions he has taken are contrary to our values, just as they are also imprudent. Jews do not target immigrants. Rather, we love the stranger. Or trans individuals. We show respect for everyone as being created in God's image. We embrace them. Jews do not advocate for upending the systems of justice in ways such as giving pardons to 1,500 individuals, some of whom convicted of violent crimes as part of the January 6th insurrection to obstruct the peaceful transfer of power. Torah instead teaches us to pursue truth, that nonsense claims like the California withheld water from Los Angeles and caused the current wildfires, or the insane idea that ending birthright citizenship can be done by an executive edict, one which one judge put it this week, boggles the mind. Our last presenter of the 8 days that we spent in Israel was a professor from Tel Aviv University, Uzi Rafi. He's a specialist on Iran. And he put it like this: Israel has an incredible geopolitical opportunity in this moment if they act smartly. If they can just keep continuing with threat reduction, if they continue to focus on destroying their enemies' military capacities, and if they continue to be confident that God wants us to love the orphan, the widow, and the stranger, we can take hold of this opportunity. If we show love when we're met with anger, if we show acceptance when we're met with exclusion, if we show a willingness to share when we're met with selfishness, then we will win. We will win in seeing the state of Israel continue to exist and thrive, and we will win in continuing to see the United States continue to exist and thrive. We won't forget the plagues that God brought to help free us from our dilemmas. We'll continue to remember the sadness that was when God's creation, even that creation that cursed us, that they were harmed as God acted on our behalf when we poured out wine from our glasses for each of the 10 plagues. May we continue to do this for thousands of years to come. May this be God's will. We're nearly there. We have a lovely little oneg waiting for us. But first, we're going to continue with a prayer that affirms the responsibility that we have one for the other and the deep connections of our relationships. It is all of our responsibility to play a role in the repair of our world. And so I'd like to welcome Errol Saul to help us with opening our ark as we turn to page 26 in our prayer books for the Olympics.
Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon ha'kol, la'teinu la'yotzer b'reshit, shelo asanu k'goyei ha'aratzot, ve'lo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu ka'hem, ve'gororeinu k'chol ha'olam, va'anachnu korim, Mishpat Rabim Bermodim,
As we prepare to recite the Mourner's Kaddish, a reminder to everyone that you may stand if you would like upon hearing the name of one of your ancestors or a loved one for whom you're saying Kaddish. And once I've completed reading this list again, we offer the chance that anyone who is reciting Kaddish for someone whose name has not yet been shared, you may share their name at this time. And so we offer this prayer really as a testament not to those who died, but that they live, that we continue living and that we remember them and keep their presence with us ever warmly, their values and the moments of both joy and sorrow that we shared. We have learned the passing of Esther Mitnick Brownstein, and that funeral, although not occurring until Monday, we wish to share. We continue to extend our condolences to Esther's family. We also note that in this past week, we buried our members, Cynthia Lee Benderson, as well as Larry Lawrence Itzkowitz, and I see Phyllis and Stu, Larry's wife and son, here with us tonight. We continue to send our condolences to you and to your wonderful family, that as you recite Kaddish for your husband, for your father, that his memory grow as a source of strength and health and blessing, and a source of humor and also of melody in your lives. And we should go out and wish you strength for coming tonight to be with us to recite Kaddish as you observe the week of Shabbat Evening. We also note that this week we are still within the month in the period of Shloshim for our members Dan Fox and Donna Yavlin. We continue to extend our condolences to their families. This week contains the yard site, the anniversary of the passing of the following individuals: Jeanette Bielowski Absent, Fanny Abrams Birdman, Samuel H. Berman, Henry D. Bootson, Dorothy Clayman, Marvin Cohan, Reverend Bernard Cohn, John F. Destecker, Sr., Emmanuel Duke, Maurice Benet, Newman Ellis, Nathan Falk, Alvin S. Fleischman, Esther Fogelbaum, Jerry Silver Frank, Ruth B. Gaffer, Helen Ehrlich Goldberg, Joseph Goldstein, Daniel Goldstein, Richard F. Handel, David Hannaford, Isidore Harris, Max Harrison, Dr. Norman Heilbrand, Lillian Wolf Jacobson, Dr. Samuel Kavanoki, Edward H. Kavanoki, Harry J. Kurtz, Bell Sigmund Kutzman, Evelyn Gersten Leff, Dr. S. Albert Leviton, Arlene R. Arline R. Mayer, Bernice Myers, Esther L. Bilch, Francis Rosenberg Morrison, Jacob Morrison, Eugene Peck, Max Robbins, Minnie N. Roblin, Daniel A. Roblin, William Rosenhoff, Reuben Rothman, Leonard J. Russ, Ann F. Ryback, Clara Frank Silver, Nathan Slotkin, Sophia Sorensen, Carrie M. Spire, Bertha F. Sperling, Ralph Steinberg, Leo M. Staring, Norma A. Stern, Isabel Stiller, Minativi, Mildred Brooks Wexler, Maxine L. Whitkin, and Abraham A. Zappowitz. Again, if there are others that you are thinking of from Mourner's Cottage and I've not yet shared their name, I welcome you to add it at this time.
For attention.
Catherine Randall,
Ellen and Jean Beckman, Sheep.
Golda Dorset, Eric Donato.
Nicholas Greenfield.
the almost mentioned and the many more that go unmentioned, those who have been part of our lives and warmed our spirits, those who have given their lives for the sanctification of God's name, as well as those of every race and nation who have lived their lives so as to be a blessing. May their memories be an eternal blessing. We rise as one community as we turn to our prayer, the Mourner's Cottage that can be found in our books on page 28. Recite these words according to our personal custom and tradition. Yitkadah, Yitkadah, Shemei Rabbah, Be'allah, Yivrach, Yeruteh, Yamlik, Malchuteh, B'chai Chodu, Yomei Chodu, Chaye, Yechol, Beit Yisrael, Ba'galah, B'zman Kari, B'Hibru, Amen. Yehei Shemei Rabbah, B'barach, Le'olam, B'lovei Hamaya, Yitbarach, Yishtabach, Yitba'ar, Yitromam, Yitnaseh, Yitadar, Yitchameh, Yithalal, Shemei, Yitkushat, Yirichu, Le'ela Minkol, Birkata, B'shirata, Tushkechata, B'nekamata, Dami Rambe, Amam, B'Ibru, Amen. Yehei Shlama, Rabba, B'Shemaya, L'chaim, Aleinu, B'Al Yisrael, B'Ibru, Amen. Oseh Shalom, B'Romah, Hu Yaseh Shalom, Aleinu, B'Al Yisrael, B'Ibru, Amen. May God bring peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved, as we say. Amen. You may be seated as we welcome our trustee and our trustee, Barry Singer, who is going to share with us tonight's announcements.
Welcome to Shabbos, everyone. So nice to see so many young people and more experienced people here share the time together. Rabbi, thank you so much for your insights on your trip. We all, I'm sure, took that a lot to heart, so it was great. Before we continue, some announcements. Mazel Tov. Again, January 26th. Those of you who are of age, please attend. There's a big cancellation, however, for the team talk. There's a conflict because of the football game. So that is going to be rescheduled to be determined. Jewish medical ethics with Jill is still available to sign up. We hear it's a great class, so please do so. We also have next weekend Bagel Kiddush for February 1st. And then the Brotherhood is having a wing tour. They're doing a lot of great new things, and I encourage everybody to attend that. We also have so many different things that you can check in your book and online, our website, and all the other places of social media. You'll find out more things about what we're doing. And there is an event, Birthday for Trees, 6 p.m. Wednesday, February 12th. It's going to be a friendly Seder. So I encourage all of you to attend. Again, great seeing you all. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shira, February 8th.
I'll get it in for you. Another brief word about the New Year for the trees, Tu B'Shvat. We have really an incredible opportunity with the executive director of Nechama. It's a word that means comfort. And Nechama is a Jewish response to disaster. The man's name is Stephen Klein. He's been in that role for about a year, worked for Hello International and other Jewish agencies previously. But Nechama has been an organization that has sent teams of Jewish disaster relief individuals to places such as North Carolina after the recent hurricane and flooding. And this is really important because the people who they tend to help are not actually Jews, but they do a great service in that they are the first Jews that some of these people meet. And so to see how our values are lived, especially with increasing and worsening weather, extreme weather and climate disasters, it's been a really important way for us to demonstrate with organizations such as Nechama what exactly we care about and how we stand shoulder to shoulder with human beings everywhere when they need help. And the other comment that Cantor shared was that we have a special Shabbat coming up, Shabbat Shirah, the Shabbat celebration of song, where we traditionally read the portion of Beshalach, the Song of the Sea. But what we get to do that's special this year is to have our choirs come and be a part of the service. You want to say a word about that?
Yeah, so it's basically celebrating our wonderful, wonderful adult choir. One of the only volunteer choirs really in the country, and maybe in the world, with all volunteers, and they're huge, how great they are. We're going to do songs that we've been working on this whole year, songs that you know well. One of some of them tonight. And we're also going to have our brand new this year, community children's choir from the community religious school will be joining us as well.
So much to entice us. I think that if I weren't the rabbi, I'd be coming to services every week anyway because of how much is being offered. We want to take a moment to offer our blessings over wine and over bread so that we're yotze, so that we're free to enjoy the Kiddush that follows. We welcome our friend Michael Bruckheimer to lead us in this prayer that can be found on page 32 in our prayer. Please rise.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri haolam. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'ratzah b'anu, v'shabbat kodsho, v'ahava u'ratzon, hikilanu. Zikaron ma'aseh v'reshit, Ihu yom techila, v'mikai kodesh, Zecher tzila, Mitzrayim, Ki anu v'charta, Yotanu kidashto, Mikol Shabbat Kosheka Be'ahava U'ratzon Invaltanu Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat Amen.
L'chaim. Cover our challah. Do any of the kids want to come up and help with hamotzi?
Come on, Zebby. Come on, have some challah, Zebby. Come on, Zebby.
Levi's down.
Zebby,
Come on up.
Come on.
Need your help.
Zebby,
All right, come on up.
We give thanks to God for bread. see, let them be harvest. Amen.
Levi, go ahead, now's your chance to rap. Good job. Oh, wow.
Go Levi.
So I feel us getting ready for To the Shabbat here for the birthday activities. We're going to conclude our service with a tiny, it's on page 25, the second line in the Hebrew. You can have a seat.
It is a tree of life to those who hold fast to it and all of its supporters are happy. It is a tree of life to those who hold fast to it and all of its supporters are happy. Shalom, 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 shalom. Shalom, shalom. Thanks, Paddy, be the much praised, be the Medusha. Thanks, Paddy, be the much praised, be the Medusha. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, 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 shalom,
Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Take ginger